All right, welcome back to our channel. And then also for those that are on our website, this is on the purchase order financing page on our website at Govbidpro.com. What I want to talk about today is the actual financing a government purchase order and or contract. We're not going to get into what's the difference between a government purchase order or contract. That's on another video. This video in specific is going to talk about we're going to talk about escrow accounts. So we're not going to talk about purchase order financing or factoring or lines of credit or loans. Those are other videos. We're going to focus on the escrow accounts and how that works. Let's jump right in. In the example that we have above, we started to talk about buying product for $90,000, $90,000 buy, okay, and selling that product as the vendor, you're the vendor, to the United States government with net 30 for $100,000. So the profit is $10,000. And by the way, that includes delivery. And you've got a purchase order. That's very important, is you've got a purchase order on hand. You're not just bidding, you're not just sending in a proposal, you've got the purchase order. Now, you could pay cash, which you're not gonna do, because you're not gonna spend your $90,000 to lock up your $90,000 for over 30 days. You're not going to use your credit cards because that's high interest. You could use supplier credit. Let's talk about that, how this works. We have supplier credit from supplier ABC, we're going to buy the product from them for $90,000, okay, on a net 30 terms. We know that most likely the government's going to pay us after 30 days because they pay slow. So we know that. So after 30 days, on day 31, we could flip that loan, that net 30 terms, to what's called a post 30-day financing. There's financiers out there that pay your account at the supplier on day 31 through day 60. Day 31 through day 60. So that puts you at 2 months. Again, you could use lines of credit, you could use PO financing, factoring, but today we're going to talk about this very cool concept of escrow accounts. So stick with me now. We've got the supplier credit. We owe them $90,000. We're waiting for the government to pay us $100,000 so we can make the 10 in the middle. You could add a zero to both of those and we'd be making a lot more money, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to create an escrow account at ABC Bank, okay? We're going to create an escrow account. The owner of this escrow account is the investor and or supplier. So you could put the supplier as a part owner of this escrow account. This is supplier right here in C, ABC supplier, who's giving you $90,000 of product and hoping you pay that in 30 days. They will. You are the vendor that's selling to the government that owns the purchase order is also the part owner of this escrow account. So now what happens is the $100,000 from the government comes into the escrow account. We tell the government, please pay this account number, this escrow account. So they pay the $100,000. Well, the investor will get their $90,000 because we owe that. And if you're using PO financing, it's more than 90, it's 91 or 92 or 93,000, the supplier would be 90,000, and you, the vendor that owns the purchase order, gets the difference. You've never touched the 90,000, it goes straight back to the supplier, or it goes to the investor, which then goes to the supplier, and the investor gets a portion. Okay, so that's the idea of behind the escrow accounts. There's banks that will do this for you. Guess what? Now you have to create an escrow account for every single deal. So that's if you're doing a SWOT analysis. If you've got any questions, reach out to us on Govbidpro.com. If you're on the website already, feel free to email me if you've got any questions at Mike@Govbidpro.com. That's Mike@Govbidpro.com is the email, or just give us a call, 505-585-1749, and we'll see you in the next video.